sure you guys probably don't know this, but before I started working as a database designer and developer, I worked in the movie industry for about 20 years as an assistant cameraman, camera operator. I worked in cinematography, and there's a couple old, like, really corny jokes, like how many cinematographers does it take to change a light bulb? And the answer is just one more. There's another joke about this director who is really behind schedule, and he comes up to his DP and he says, "Hey, can we shoot this next scene in available light?" And the DP says, "Yeah, sure, no problem." And about 6.5 hours later, the director comes back and says, "What's going on? I thought, why is it taking you so long? I thought you said we could shoot this in available light." And he said, "Yeah, I used every available light." He used every single one of the options he had on the truck. Okay, terrible, corny, I know. But just keep in mind that the reason I'm telling you this is I come from that very strong, proud tradition of cinematography, and it just has bled over into my world as a developer, which means every single time I see an opportunity to tweak something and make it a little bit better, I'm just going to keep tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, and nobody knows that better than Chris Wilson. You can just ask him and he will tell you, and he will probably roll his eyes, I guarantee it. All of that is to say that I know that I said several times during this series of tutorials that we're going to do just one more. When we come back, we'll do one more and we'll be done. And then I come up with this idea or something that I said, oh, I need to fix that. And so, surprise, surprise, there's a couple little things from the last tutorial about the GIFs and the GIFs descriptions that I forgot to mention. Well, one thing that I forgot to mention, and then one issue that popped up that I said, oh, they're going to need this. And so I quickly added another little feature, well, just another little button. And so I wanted to go over those two situations now. So here's the first one. If you remember last time, we were setting something up here. Let's just go ahead and do my quick adding in my gift here. And let's say that year I was getting a gift, and we had decided that there was going to be a gift in here called water bottle. Okay, and I went ahead and I added that gift, and then I had as an example that what happens in 2015 if we decide that we're not going to have water bottles that year, and just to keep this little drop down clean, we wanted to get rid of water bottle. And I pointed out that it's not going to affect any earlier entries, which it will not. So let's say this year I get a coffee mug, and now let's say it's 2016, and we decide we want water bottles again, but maybe it's not, maybe you've been promoted and you're not managing this anymore, or you've forgotten that, whoever it is, we're going to add back in water bottle. But let's say that whoever does the little edit this time, instead of writing water bottle like I did exactly last time, they decide to say H2O. Oh, H2O bottle. Alright, and so now for that whole year, the water bottle is going to be listed like this. Alright, so that is only going to affect things if you ever needed, to do a multi-year sort of total summary report, and you needed to see, you wanted to look at the data between 2016, 14, 15, and say, well, how many water bottles in each of these years did we do? Well, you're not going to be able to compile that data very efficiently, because this is, as far as the computer is concerned and the database is concerned, an entirely different thing. And, I made that as an extreme example, but, it would be the same thing as if somebody just said water bottle and didn't put a space in there, right? And we change this to water bottle. That's a different item in the eyes of the database. So do keep that in mind. It's okay to change and delete things from this list, but if you ever want to add that exact gift back into the list, you need to sort of do a quick little find of your previous gifts and see how it was spelled and in previous times and put it back in the exact same way it was, if you ever think you might need to do a year-to-year sort of comparison between certain items. So that's just a little note on that occurred to me, and I wanted to point out to you that even though it is okay to delete things off of this list when you're not using them, adding them back in later could be problematic if you don't kind of pay attention to what you're doing there. Alright, and the second issue that came up has to do with printing out that final gift checklist we've looked at a couple of times already. And there's one scenario in which that could be not really so much problematic, but it could present just a little bit of confusion, and I wanted to give you a way to sort of clean that up and let you know why that might happen. So let's take a situation in which, say, I am going to add a record for myself, a gift record for myself for 2014, and well, let's select authentic here, and I'm not going to get a t-shirt, jacket, or a gift this year, but I am going to get invited to the party. Okay, so realize that from the contact's point of view, you're sitting on one person's record, right now my record, and then you're looking at every single gift in the holiday gifts table of the database that is associated with my contact record. So you could have many different gifts here, and I keep calling it gifts, and that's probably, you know, where it could be confusing, because really just making an entry in this holiday table could mean a gift. It could mean one of these three things, but it could also be referring to the party invitation. So it's probably more accurate to call this a holiday record, making a new entry to the holiday records. Okay. Now, you know, it's possible that I could be getting a gift and a party invitation, but there is a scenario where some people might not be getting anything here, but we do need to create a holiday record for them so that we can send them an invitation to the party. So I'm going to do, let's do another here for my other company, fictitious company, and let's say in this one I am going to get a gift, this level 1 gift, and also an invitation to the party. Alright, so let's take a look over at the holiday summary. I wanted to point out that if we have set our find here to all companies for a year, and we look down at the bottom to these totals, then we're going to get accurate totals here, because I'm seeing every single holiday record, whether someone gets a gift or not, or an invite or not, whatever the combination of fields and selections within a given holiday record, as long as it's 2014, it's all going to show up. So that's how you get your accurate totals down at the bottom. If I wanted to do one of these reports for t-shirts or jackets or gift orders, remember we have to do a find for all companies, let's say t-shirts. Alright, and then when I print this t-shirt report order total, you know, and I can sort it however I like, of course. So let's say I just sorted it by year and by contact, and then when I print the t-shirt order totals, I get accurate numbers. But look what happens, and this is just a reminder that you do have to do, whenever you generate reports in FileMaker, the reports are usually dependent upon how you've done your finds and sorts before you run that report or print that report. So I've still got this found set of t-shirts sorted for 2014, sorted by year and then contact. If I just go now and print the jacket order totals, I'm going to get weird numbers, right? This is not accurate. In order to get the accurate totals for the jackets, I need to redo another find here for all companies' jackets in 2014, right? And so now what you see here is this number under t-shirts is wrong, because I've only done a find for jackets with yes, and this number is correct, but the others are probably incorrect. But this is the find that you need to do in order to print your jacket order totals. And now you get the right number here. So the reason I'm pointing this out is because of what we just talked about. Let's remind ourselves what we just did on my record. So if we look at, do a little find for me here, you see I've put two things in here, and this one here, there's no t-shirt, no jacket, and no gift. But there is a holiday record for me in this year referring to this party invitation. There's another record for me here associated with another company, as it turns out, although it could be an additional gift at the same company, right? Or, you know, and you know, would be kind of a mistake, because as I just filled it out, I would be getting two invitations to the party, and the count would be off because we would be expecting me twice, right? So I really want to change that. And the way you erase something is you need to select it and hit the escape button, and then hit the delete button, and that'll clear it right out. But in any event, so we've got this one holiday record that is showing up when I do a find for all companies in 2014, and if I sort by year and by contact and scroll down to find me again, you'll see under the J's that I show up twice, and one of these records exists in that found set that does not have any gift, no t-shirt, no jacket, no gift, but it's still showing up because of this invitation and because we've created a record. Even if there was nothing in any of these records, the record would still exist. And so when I go to print this gifts checklist, right, I want to have a list that I can sort of take with me when I'm passing out gifts or marking them off as I mail them or whatever. And this is only showing information in this report with regards to t-shirts, jackets, and gifts. It doesn't really concern itself with invitations. There's another report for that. But because that record exists in the current found set, when I come down here to the J's, oops, I went past them there, H-I-J, well, I'm going to show up twice, and that's okay. You know, sometimes people will show up twice because they might have multiple gifts, or they might have different gifts in different companies if you sort by companies. But this one is totally empty. So if you were looking at it, you know, from the perspective of, hey, I'm printing out my gift recipient checklist, it's not going to mess anything up, because somebody comes in, say, to the conference room, hi, I'm Philip Jaffe, I'm here for my gift. You're going to come down to the J's, and you're going to say, okay, well, you're getting a level 1 gift. Out of all the Philip Jaffes here, you're getting a level 1 gift. It could get confusing if you've got a couple of people named Philip Jaffe that happen to work at Authentic Entertainment, or even if there are two Philip Jaffes at ABC, and they might mean different things. So you want to get rid of this in this report, right? Do you have to print as much? You want to get rid of all these blank lines, but also so it's not as confusing. And so the way that you have to prepare the found set for that is actually quite complicated, because you could do it manually, but because you're probably going to need to print this report and look at the totals several times, I could show you how to do it, and I'd be happy to do that, but it's a very complicated find. And so I've just sort of programmed it into a button for you, because essentially what you're having to do is you're going to say, okay, find everyone in 2014 that has a record that has at least one of these marked yes, okay? But don't show me anyone that has none of these marked yes. All right, and that's sort of an advanced level find, and so I've just programmed that into a button for you when you need to generate that gift report, and it's called All Companies, Any Shirt, Jacket, or Gift in 2014. All right, so then when I do this find and I sort by year and contact and come down to the J's, you'll see that my ABC family still shows up because it met those qualifications. I did have a gift but my other one is no longer there. And so when I come back to print this gifts checklist now and go over to the J's, I think it's on this page. Now I'm only showing up in the one time where I should be receiving a gift. Okay, so that was the other little update I wanted to make you aware of. And so now I promise when we come back, we will talk finally about the party invitation section. Take care, guys.